Sawtooth Dave. Hope you guys had a great week. Mine was pretty much phenomenal. Can't complain at all. Don't do any good if you do anyhow. So hey, that's how it is. So as you might be able to see, the windblown beard. The concentration wasn't nice this week. You know, kind of the second week in a row, I guess. Was it second week? Well, last weekend, I guess the week wasn't. But this whole week has pretty much been mostly motorcycle week. So, you know, typically I work on knives, you know, during the week whenever the time permits. So, like, even the evenings, sometimes in the mornings, like, as the schedule works, I just kind of, you know, get in the shop and work out stuff. So, I literally only did 2 this week, rig grinds. One was for Mateo, and thanks for Mateo for being patient with me. He wanted a Shaman, so I did his Shaman for him. And he literally sent it probably almost a month ago now. So I feel bad for letting it sit for as long as I did. I just had a lot of other stuff kind of going on. And he was understanding. He didn't really care. Also had some pet issues this week. That cat just jumped down. Sammy had almost got. And he got a hernia, basically with a puncture through his inner abdominal wall where some of his fat came out of it, and luckily none of his intestines did, but he almost got by a coyote, but he made it. And then the little one, the little Leia, the little French bulldog, she slipped a disc. Issues with that too, so it's been kind of a weird week for here, but good. Not for the pets, but overall for us. So in a knife world, because I get that over with so that, you know, people who ain't interested in regular life can kind of go on. I'm doing this like Scotch and Things style life update. I don't know. His is more work and life. I don't really go into work too much with you guys. So, I showed it a while back, the Gen 2 kickstand that I got from Evan, and we were trying to work out a trade. We finally worked it out. Took a little while, but we worked out a deal. Well, before I even worked out that trade with that kickstand, Denise was like, hey, I want to check that one out. And I kind of, before we kind of knew that we both wanted the other kickstand that the other one had. So I traded back and got this kickstand back, the one I got from Scotch and Things Steve originally. So now it's back in the collection, and that Gen 2 that I traded Evan for is now Denise's. And being the cool person she was, she went ahead and included that. You remember that Max Ace? Hang on, I'll get it out. Give me a second. Sorry, I'd forgotten to put it in this drawer over here. It wasn't out. She gifted me this Max Ace that I reground for her, so very cool of her. Thank you again, Denise. This is a cool one. G10, not so much, but other than that, like, that's the only complaint I got. Which, you know, Evan, hey, you ain't getting this one, bro. Evan's, me and him were joking last night. Like, all my G10s end up at his house. He tends to like them, so you know, it's just how we are with the trading thing. It's fun, right? Fun for everybody. So got the kickstand back. Evan ended up with a knife he liked, and Denise ended up with a knife she liked. So a 3-way trade. I guess that kind of worked out good. Funny enough, this one finally came back from Sharif. So y'all remember when I showed the video when I first made this thing? Like literally the next day I sent it out. So I haven't really had a chance to play with it or fondle it or anything like that. I have no idea how it would wear in or anything like that. So coming back from Sharif, my initial impressions were, you know, it's not bad overall, like the structure of it, but here's the thing that I didn't know. So when I sent it to him, it's still having lock stick. So y'all can see it's got decent engagement, and actually disengages just fine too. But let me just roll it back out real quick. The issue with this one now is you can mash that lock bar all the way over and max it out. So when looking at this, I'm pretty sure I explained it in that original video. I had to end up making bigger stop pins because I overcut the lock bar on the mill on that jig. So I made a bigger stop pin. Well, what I didn't take in consideration, if this is your lock bar and this is your blade, as you're making a bigger stop pin, you're basically just pushing it away, so you're only hitting on one point down there, so it separates it more and more as you put the bigger stop pin on. That's pretty much where we're at now. So as I can push this all the way over, I'm seeing it's only really contacting one little small spot down at the very edge of that. Either I'm going to have to do another stop pin and try to fix it, or a lock bar insert to try to fix this knife to actually make it a functional knife. May do it, may not, but you know, this one was a lesson learned kind of thing, and I would never build another one the same way as I built this one. I would definitely do something different, but I kind of still want this to be a functional knife, so I may go in there and do that. Nothing to really report on the fixed blade. I'm still sitting right here, pretty much where I left it. I got a piece of leather sitting right here. I hadn't done nothing with it. Should contact Dave Lowe and see if he can help me with a sheath, but I haven't done it as of yet because I've been doing motorcycle stuff. Imagine that, right? And for those that don't know, that are in question, the AD10 limited edition titanium with a 3V steel is at Midway for $250. So if you didn't already know that, which I think everybody does, but if you don't already know that, Midway USA has these at $250. Me and Steve were talking about it last night, and it's like, or maybe the night before, for $250. Like, I can't think of anything I bought, I'm gonna say at least a couple years, and that price range that has honestly impressed me. Like, I hate to say it this way, I don't feel like a snob, but like, I'm into the customs, I'm into more the elite, and so very few production knives like just don't do it for me right now. Like Evan mentioned last night when I was talking to him, like mine's laser, like my focus on my whole collection is like laser pointed right to one particular style of knife. This one just happens to be slightly outside that, not being a frame lock, but being a back lock. But everything else about this one, 3V, bruiser steel, full titanium, not pocketed. Like, it's just, this one's a home run for me. It's definitely a smaller knife than what I normally carry, but man, like, I like it. I can fidget with it fine. Everything about it is good. So I know I've already kind of gone over that, but hey, we do it again. Why not? So if you're here just for knife stuff, that's pretty much it. Nothing real else got done. I got one I know I got it this week, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna hopefully get a chance to do it this week. So as far as the motorcycle stuff goes, for those that are interested in that, so I went from an older twin cam. Mine was a 2007 Road King Buell. Darcy's had some Milwaukee 8s. This is her 4th Milwaukee 8 powered bike, and they're all slightly different. So getting the 117, which is basically like, until I think recently here, it's probably been one of their bigger engines the last year or two. I don't keep up with the latest greatest and then all the little doodads. This is my opinion right here. I expected more out of that 117 engine. Don't get me wrong, it's got plenty of power, but as it comes stock, it's really docile, like real linear. Like, I mean, it's got power, but it's just not like the way everybody touts that thing. It's a sport torn, you know, bagger. Like, the handling part of it is good on nice even roads. If it's a bumpy road, they got it oversprung to me for what I do with it. Like, so the front end bounces so much, it's hard to keep vision on the road. You know, those little things that you always, the heart attacks, the seat, the exhaust, the handlebars. So right now my biggest issue personally is the handlebars. And, the width of the handlebars is what's bugging me, and there's really no easy cheap solution for it. This, you know, you pretty much got to suck it up and spend over $1,000 to change the bars, which sounds kind of dumb for you people about into motorcycles. You're like, $1,000 just to change your handlebars, but that's doing it myself. You get them to do it, probably add another $1,000, $1,500 on just to get them to do it, and that's keeping stock cables and electrical stuff. So it gets crazy expensive, man. The Harley world is definitely expensive, you know, and only having so much money to play with in hobbies. The knife hobby is definitely taking a back seat to the motorcycle. Well, let's just call it what it is. It's an addiction, right? Like, just like knives, the motorcycles are addictions too. So you get new format like this Street Glide that we got, and you learn all the nuances, and then you start looking for solutions for the nuances, and you know, it's a different rabbit hole every time you look. You see, it's a whole different rabbit hole. Handlebars, whole different rabbit hole. Like, so it's a lot to investigate for somebody who really hasn't really ever cared to investigate Street Glides in that detail, anyhow, in that kind of detail. So I'm learning a lot, and I'm actually having a fun time watching a ton of YouTube videos on Street Glides versus knives. So I haven't really been keeping up with what's going on in knife stuff. You know, a few buddies with exceptions there, but for the most part, my buddy in Atlanta has the exact same bike as me. I had ridden his a while back. I think I mentioned it last week, and I don't think he had the seat yet when I rode it last time. I want to say it was a stock seat when I rode it, but for whatever reason he didn't like the seat that he got. He got it it's from Saddleman. You can order it with special stitch. So he got like a diamond lattice, and I'll try to put a picture in here. Diamond stitch or lattice stitch, whatever they call it, with the matching bronze color that has like accents on our bike. So I got that seat from him for almost nothing, like damn good price, bro price, you know, because he had it sitting around. He wasn't using it. He didn't like it for whatever reason, so he sent it to me. The wife and I both like it, but I think the second seat we buy, because, you know, if we do this trip in October, we're going to need better than stock seats, because the stock seats really, like, For us, the biggest problem is probably the sweat. So they don't have no way to get air around your butt, so you get swamp butt pretty quick. Which, you know, if you stay in the saddle long enough, you're gonna get swamp butt pretty much anyhow, in my experience. But they're extremely bad, like 100 miles, and you're like, ooh, man, I gotta take a shower. It is bad. Darcy's not thinking about doing bars on hers. She's pretty happy with her bars. The bars don't work for me. Like how it is right now, they're too wide, and the angle of the wrist, it doesn't work for me. So I got to change it up on mine. So I got to pay that Harley tax and do the bars. But we're right at 1,000 miles right now. I think both of us are overall happy with the motorcycles. And I guess the only negative, like, that we gotta pretty much both agree on is the suspension is a little tight for us. But we're geezer. We want geezer glides. We don't want the Sport Touring tune, and we bought a Sport Touring bike. So I don't know that they do or don't tune the suspension differently, but they're both pretty tight right now for what we like. And I got used to that Fat Boy, which honestly, I mean, not Fat Boy, the Road King, which had honestly like worn out suspension, which was just, it would just soak up the months, but you also floated around corners. So, you know, if you ever ridden an old Cadillac, that's pretty much exactly how the Road King rode. You know, it's like it just kind of float down the road. You never really felt the bumps, but it never really, you're not going to get through a corner nearly as quick either. So same kind of thing. You got, you know, give up one to get the other. All right, so I guess for this week, we're going to call it right there. Kind of a shorter video. I'll try to edit those couple pictures in there, and that'll be it. Maybe next week we'll have some different content. I don't know. Like, I need to make a sheath for that fixed blade, and I might make a leather slip or a pocket clip, and I may fix this one, and I may not do nothing with it. I don't know. We'll see. All right, y'all be cool. Have a good week. See you.